dearies, welcome back. Do you watch a lot of kid-friendly shows? Well, be careful, because today we're talking about kids shows that aren't as innocent as they seem. And some of these shows might make your mom mad at you. Or maybe it's just a myth. So if you love making your mom happy, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and turn the bell on. Trust me, I'll protect you. We all watch shows in the living room sometimes, right? And our parents walk by sometimes. And then for some reason, whenever they walk by, the show starts doing something sus and cringe. Why does that always happen? Thankfully, some shows are family-friendly, so we don't need to worry about that happening. But it turns out these family-friendly shows aren't actually safe for you. Let's take a look at the first one called Cocomelon.
6 kid shows you should not let your children watch. Number 1, Cocomelon. Next time your kid is watching, count the seconds between camera cuts. You'll notice they happen every 1 to 3 seconds. This hyper-pacing is designed to keep a child's brain in a constant state of dopamine arousal, making real life feel painfully slow.
Super fast editing and loud noises are really bad for your brain, which is why a lot of doctors say Cocomelon is bad for you. That's also why my editing style isn't absolutely crazy with sounds and pop-ups every 2 seconds, because I think it's not okay to edit like a madman if you love your fans. And obviously, I love my fans. Here's another expert that rated Cocomelon a 1 out of 10 and said kids shouldn't watch it.
This child brain expert rated Cocomelon a 1 out of 10.
1 out of 10. Rapid pace and highly stimulating nature. It affects a child's attention span and self-regulation.
I mean, I believe him because look what it did to my 1-year-old.
Basically, I think the best thing to do is to touch grass, or watch something that won't cause brain rot like Bluey or Smiling Friends or me. I think Adorkable is the best option, and I'm definitely not biased. Have you seen the show Spongebob Circle Pants? It's about a sponge that lives in a pineapple under the sea who owns a pet snail and works in a restaurant. It sounds like an innocent show made for adorable kids, but what if I told you it's evil? Let's see why.
2. Spongebob. Watch the first 2 seasons, then jump to season 10. Notice how Spongebob's voice gets higher and his actions become more chaotic. A University of Virginia study found that just 9 minutes of this hyperactivity causes an immediate drop in a child's ability to solve problems.
There's no way this is true, right? I mean, I love SpongeBob and I watch it all the time. Oh my god, is that why I'm cooked? Well, aside from my IQ being 50 because of watching SpongeBob all day, SpongeBob actually had episodes that kids should never have seen. Here's one that's actually disturbing.
SpongeBob was not meant for kids because they really had an episode called
The Panty Raid.
Look at this.
I guess you're gonna miss the panty raid.
You're talking about girls, right? And you're talking about raiding their dressers for their underpants, right?
Oh yeah.
Gross, mega disturbing. Who even thought about making this episode? Put him in jail.
Well, count me in.
Like, what does this man, Patrick Star, know about a panty raid? He's over here talking about it like he be doing it on the regular, like it's a weekly thing for him. And then you got grown man Mr. Krabs over here talking about, I want to join you guys on the panty raid. Like, bro, you have a whole daughter. If you don't go take care of your kid instead of hanging out with SpongeBob and Patrick. And the craziest part of it all is that when they finally go on to do their raid at someone's house, it ends up being Mr. Krabs' mom's house, which is insane because how does Mr. Krabs not know what his mom's house looks like? And second of all, Mr. Krabs' grown ass should not be out there doing this with SpongeBob and Patrick in the first place. SpongeBob was really a hilarious show because so many things went over our heads as kids that you didn't understand until you watched it when you were older.
Well, obviously shows are made by adults most of the time, so they can't help but put in weird adult jokes in there. There's nothing wrong with grown-up jokes in a kid's show, but at least don't make it creepy as heck. I'm still gonna watch SpongeBob Circle Pants though, and you can't stop me. I don't care if my IQ drops to 0, if it does, I guess I'll start talking like a caveman. After all, one great man once said, "Why waste time say lot word when few word do trick?" Let's talk about our fellow baldies of the world. And no, I'm not talking about your grandpa, I'm talking about a young, annoying boy named Caillou. A lot of people hate this show because of the MC being annoying, but the show teaches kids bad things, which is why no one should watch it. Let's watch what's wrong with the show.
Caillou. If you watch closely, Caillou almost never speaks in a normal tone. He uses a specific whine frequency that psychologists say is designed to trigger a parent's stress response, making you more likely to give in just to make it stop.
I think this is completely true because when I tried watching Caillou, I wanted to ground the kid. Have you ever been grounded before? I haven't because I'm way too good and sneaky. Just don't tell anyone about the sneaky part though. But let's be honest, the kid's annoying because his parents don't deal with him properly, but we gotta try to understand why they don't do anything. Turns out there's some dark truth behind his bad behavior. So let's see what the issue is.
The reason Caillou's parents never discipline him is much darker than you think. Now, for years, everyone thought it was because he was just a spoiled kid, but there's a theory that reveals the truth. He isn't just spoiled, he's actually dying of cancer.
Wait, what?
And to be honest, there's a ton of evidence to back up the theory. First, he's completely bald. It's extremely rare for a 4-year-old to have zero hair, but the show never explains it, and the most common reason a kid that young would lose all their hair is chemotherapy.
Or maybe he just shaves his hair off all the time? Maybe it's a style. At least that's what a lot of bald people tell me. I'm not bald, it's a hairstyle, they say.
Second, every episode has a white cloudy border around the screen. That's the same effect shows use when something is a flashback or a memory. So each episode is someone's memories of him before he passed away. Third, his parents never say no to him. They let him do whatever he wants. But it's not because of bad parenting, it's because they're two people who know their son doesn't have much time left and can't take a single moment away from him.
Alright, he's got good points there, but it sounds like a conspiracy theory. Do you think that's true or false? Let me know in the comments. We've talked about Peppa Pig a lot on this channel, and you might think I'm obsessed with her, but just hear me out, guys. You have to stop watching it right now. It's actually terrifying and teaches kids how to be bad, kind of like my older cousin who's in jail right now. Watch this about Peppa so we can stay out of jail.
Peppa Pig. Look at how Peppa interacts with her dad. Count how many times she calls him silly or fat in a single episode. It's not a joke. It's teaching children that disrespecting parents is the cool way to behave.
Now listen, it's true that Peppa calls her dad fat a lot, but I think Peppa is joking around with her dad. Also, there's nothing wrong with calling someone silly. You're silly sometimes, and I'm silly all the time. Even our parents are silly. But yeah, maybe Peppa should stop calling her dad fat, because at some point it sounds like bullying, and we don't want kids copying her in real life. Peppa Pig is one of those shows that looks innocent, but has small, creepy details that only the smartest kids can see. You've probably seen most of these since you're one of those smart kids, but let's take a look at the creepy details in Peppa Pig and try not to get scared.
Have you ever noticed these creepy details in Peppa Pig? First, Peppa's pet goldfish might not be what it seems. It could actually be a surveillance device planted by Madame Gazelle. The fish is often seen with just one eye open, almost like it's shutting off the camera to hide its identity. But the moment no one's paying attention, both eyes open wide, secretly watching every move in Peppa's house and sending the info straight back to Madame Gazelle. And why suspect her? Because the fish always looks grumpy around everyone else. But the second it sees Madame Gazelle, it suddenly lights up with a big smile. So, why is Madame Gazelle spying on the pig family? Could she really be a vampire?
Either Madame is a creep, or that goldfish just really hates Peppa's family.
Miss Rabbit might be an alien. At the aquarium, she's the ticket clerk. One scene later, she's suddenly working as the cashier at the gift shop. And just moments after that, she reappears as the janitor cleaning up. It's like she can teleport instantly from place to place. So maybe the real question is, why is an alien like her hiding on Earth in the first place?
Or maybe she runs the whole place by herself and is a hardworking, strong woman. I mean, rabbit. Rabbit woman. She's a woman who's a rabbit, so she's a wobbit.
When Peppa and George visit the library, there's a table in plain sight. But when Mummy Pig starts telling her story, the table completely vanishes. And then, as soon as the story ends, the table magically reappears again. Where did it go?
It was me. I took the table and then brought it back. I had an emergency tea party, guys, don't blame me. Here's a quiz for you. What TV show are these guys from? If you guessed Teletubbies, you're right. But did you know the dark story behind Teletubbies? Turns out it comes from a horrifying mental hospital where kids were tested on in dangerous ways. Let's listen to the scary story.
This is the terrifying truth behind the Teletubbies. The real story of the Teletubbies comes from an old mental hospital in Sofia, Bulgaria, in the year 1960. In this hospital, there was a group of 4 children with quite strange conditions. Lala had a disorder that made her smile all the time. She always stayed alone in her room in the hospital, so her skin turned yellow because she was not exposed to the sun.
What? That's literally not how it works. If you're not exposed to the sun for a long time, your skin just gets a bit lighter because it won't get a tan. Not sure if you knew this, but the sun basically damages your skin over time throughout your whole life. And that's why as you get older, your skin gets wrinklier and worse. And that is why I don't go outside without sunscreen.
Tinky Winky was 7 years old. He suffered from depression and did not eat his food. And for a strange reason, he hit his head against the wall until he broke it. So they tied him with ropes by his limbs so he would not hurt himself. This caused his limbs to turn a blue color.
Wait, guys, I thought Tinky Winky was purple. Here, look. Am I colorblind or am I right?
In the hospital, there was a fire. Everyone evacuated, but they forgot to get Boo out of there. I imagine you understand why she is red. And Nipsey represented another deaf member of the hospital who was tied to a fence outside the hospital and suffered frostbite. All the Teletubbies characters are based on children who had terrible experiences in this mental hospital.
That's pretty creepy. But I think the real story behind Teletubbies is that someone wanted to make a show for preschoolers, and those little kids love bright colors. That's why all these tubbies are so colorful. Most of these stories are just theories made up to scare kids, but I know you didn't get scared since you're so brave. That's all for today, dearies. If you have any more ideas on what I should talk about, please let me know. Make sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment below, and I'll catch you next time. Toodles.